What's going on, guys? Welcome to Clutch People. I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night, and today I'm bringing you guys a reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to 5 stories that prove Wilt Chamberlain was not human. Just had to move the camera a little to the side so you guys could see the video on the screen. This was suggested by a subscriber. I've actually seen a lot of Mike Warzamba videos. I haven't really watched them recently, to be completely honest with you guys, but I have not seen this one. This was actually made 3 years ago. Has a lot of views. I'm surprised it wasn't popped up in my recommended. Hopefully this is a great video. Shout out to all you guys' support. We're close to 200 subscribers. I've only had this channel for 2 months. You guys are absolutely amazing. So no further ado, let's get right into the video, yo.
If you've been following this channel, you know this is not the first time I've said a player is not human. But you also know
Stephen Curry.
Title for players that are on a different level. I'm talking about guys like Jordan, Kobe, Pistol Pete Maravich, Anthony Davis. Guys that were not only NBA stars, but they were also different. And so today we're going to be talking about one of the most different players the NBA has ever seen. We're talking about former Harlem Globetrotter Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt the still Big Dipper.
Too much to talk about, so we're not going to mention his stats. Instead, I'm just going to share story after story about Wilt Chamberlain that will blow your mind.
Blow your mind.
And one quick
Watch out.
I just want to say, guys, we are 30,000 subscribers away from 1 million. So
then isn't he at like 2 mil now? What is he at?
If you want to get to 1 million,
he's at 1 mil, yeah.
Then make sure you subscribe.
Almost at 2 mil.
For now, though, let's look at 5 stories why Wilt Chamberlain was not human.
Not human, okay.
50-inch vertical leap. Let's start out by saying that as a pure athlete, Wilt could easily fit into the NBA.
I've heard this one. 50 inches though. I've seen some highlights though. His freaking arms over the basket. But he did have a long wingspan. He was really tall. 50 inches though.
A little cheesy, I get it, but to show you what I mean, the first thing we're going to talk about was the man's vertical.
I think that's cap. I think they're capping on that one.
That wasn't something they measured in the 1960s. Regardless, some from his era have estimated that Wilt's vertical was around 48 inches, while others have said that it was as high as 54 inches. So even if his
I don't believe that. 54 freaking inches? Are you kidding me?
Talking about a 7'1" center who apparently had a vertical leap that was comparable to Michael Jordan's. That seems crazy.
Or now you could say, well, Zion at Duke, he had an insane vertical when they tested him.
Wilt's arm almost reaches the top of the back.
That is insane. That is insane. But you got to keep in mind he's 7 foot with a long wingspan too.
That was a major reason for why he was so unstoppable at the time. Not only was he among the tallest people in the world, he also had the highest vertical in basketball. This allowed Wilt to leap over his defenders for easy layups. He was
Bill Russell right there.
For rebounds that other men of his era could only dream of grabbing. Wilt's jumping ability was legit.
He was a good athlete though, even if you watch the highlights, like he was a good athlete. You could tell he moves very unique at his size.
For instance, while at Kansas, Wilt's coach Fog Allen was pushing for basketball to be played on 12-foot rims, which was strange. But what was even stranger was that Wilt was able to routinely dunk on those 12-foot rims.
Not surprised. He's, what is he, 7'1"? Not surprised.
Because according to Sonny Hill, Wilt could grab a quarter off the top of the backboard. Keep in mind,
I'm not surprised with that, with his long wingspan.
And perhaps the most incredible
that is insane though.
Was an actual rule change.
Look at that finger roll. Finesse.
Wilt would take 3 steps back from the foul line, throw the ball at the backboard, run, jump from the free throw line, rebound the miss, and dunk to make sure
that is insane.
Every foul shot he took went in. Yes,
it's hard to be coordinated that tall, I bet. That's unique.
Now, because basketball had to change its rules for Wilt Chamberlain.
Alright, 4.
Freakish strength. When players from his era talk about Wilt, they refer to his strength as almost some godlike ability.
How much was that?
The former coach of the Bulls during Wilt's final years in the league has been quoted as saying, "People talk about the strength of Shaq. I think Wilt could have picked up Shaq and thrown him through the..."
I did see Shaq and Wilt like shake hands, and it literally looked like Wilt moved Shaq. No lie. I saw that video. If you saw that video.
He used this strength to casually body defenders on his way to the basket. basket, to throw away his opponents when they challenged him for rebounds, to intimidate everyone the moment he stepped on the court. This strength is one of the biggest reasons why Wilt supporters claim he would still be a star in the NBA today. And while I'm not going to take a side in that argument because it's impossible to prove one way or the other, the fact remains
Who was
that
that, Kale
Wilt's strength
Goodrich?
was
Look at the
freakish,
behind the
and
back
it
pass. Okay,
scared
Wilt.
people. Former Celtic Casey Jones remembers that once Wilt used one arm to stop Casey and lift him off the ground with his feet dangling. Casey remembers that his legs were still shaking when he went to attempt his
Yeah, that's
free
insane.
throws. And as for his teammates, there was a time when Paul Silas was about to get in a fight, and instead, Wilt picked him up, turned him around, and said, "We're not going to have that stuff." To which Paul responded, "Yes, sir."
Wow.
And trust me, there are other stories. Stories of Wilt picking up two 200-pound grown men up into the air by their shirts.
I forgot he was in a movie.
Stories of a 40-year-old Wilt.
What was he right there,
lifting
Gladiator?
600 pounds as if it was nothing. But at this point, I think you get it. Wilt was just on another level, which brings us to number 3. Faster than NFL running backs.
I did hear that he ran a fast 40. Heard he ran a 4.6.
World-class track athlete. In college, he won the Big 8 high jump competition 3 years in a row.
That's insane that they freaking have the... Is that him? Is that actually him? Or someone else? He does have those long strides, though, because this man's very, very lengthy. Lanky.
Because throughout history, there have been a handful of guys who were really tall, really strong, and could jump really high. But how many of those guys were also among the fastest men on the planet? Time and time again in the NBA, Wilt proved his speed, as several times a game he would beat other centers down the court for easy baskets. His teammates knew to look out for these opportunities as much as possible because
Underrated
they
passer.
knew how fast Wilt
Oh, that wasn't him with that pass.
His former coach with the Warriors, Alex Hannum, illustrated this by saying, "When I coached the San Francisco Warriors, I thought Al Attles was the fastest guy on our team by far. So I set up a series of races, baseline to baseline. In the finals, it was Wilt and Al Attles.
Look at that.
Wilt just blew
Look at that pass. Look at that quarterback.
Wilt Chamberlain is one of the greatest all-around athletes the world has ever seen. And if you're still
Didn't he get drafted in football in the NFL? Maybe wrong there. Or got invited to a camp. I forgot.
Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown began to argue about
Jim Brown. Some people say that's the best running back of all time. Played for the Browns.
Then Jim Brown wanted a second chance.
I remember Barry Sanders' dad always said Jim Brown's the best running back of all time.
The best running backs the NFL has ever seen in a test of speed. Yeah,
Wow.
the man was just ridiculous. Number 2, underrated defensive beast. Okay, so I mentioned before that I'm not going to talk about Wilt's stats in this video. And I'm not. We all know his stats. So instead, let's talk about the most underrated part of Wilt's game, his shot blocking ability. Because when we look back at that era,
Blocked Bill Russell like 3 times in a row right there. Is that Greer? Oh, he blocked the hook shot. It's over. The sky hook. Goodbye.
The NBA did not record blocks and steals back when Wilt played.
Yeah, that's crazy that they didn't record them.
What we do know is that there are several stories available that can give us an insight onto just how dominant he was. For instance, before his first game against Wilt, future
Walt Bellamy.
Walt Bellamy went up to
He
Wilt
played for the
and said,
Knicks.
"Hello, Mr. Chamberlain. I'm Walter Bellamy." Wilt shook his hand and replied, "Hello, Walter. You won't get a shot off in the first half." He then proceeded to block all 9 of Bellamy's shot attempts in the first half.
Oh, that's
Finally
funny. That's
beginning
funny.
the second half by saying, "Okay, Walter, and now you can play." Keep in mind, Walter Bellamy averaged 31 points a game that year. It's stories
I believe he
like
played for
that
the Knicks
that
at
prove
least.
just how good Wilt was defensively when he locked in. He was so good that sometimes players wanted to fight him. For instance, there was a time when opposing big man Tom Masheri tried to fake Wilt out.
Oh, no. Yeah, he did play for the Knicks. Played for the Hawks, too. Okay.
The ball landed back in Masheri's hands, where again, he tried several fakes, and again, he put up a shot and was rejected. Instead of trying a third shot, Masheri decided to fight Wilt in anger. So he tried to throw a few punches, but Wilt just looked at him and laughed while holding his hand on Masheri's forehead. Finally, Wilt said, "That's enough." And
It's like messing with your
Masheri
little
stopped
brother or something.
immediately. And the
It's
final
like, nope,
story
nope,
we
you
have
ain't coming
of
back.
Wilt's
You ain't coming
defensive
here.
dominance comes from Larry Brown. As Brown witnessed a time when Magic Johnson
You got
had just
Kareem
entered the
frustrated
league
right
and
there.
Wilt was in his
All-time leading scorer
mid-40s. The two were
in
playing
NBA
a pickup
history.
game at UCLA, and in the game, Magic made a few questionable calls. This made Wilt mad, so Wilt declared to everyone, there will be no more layups in this gym. He then proceeded to block every single one of Magic's shots, because unlike a lot of star athletes, Wilt did not get soft with age. In fact, and number one, Volleyball Star. To give you an idea of just how well Wilt Chamberlain
Interesting.
aged, when the man was 45, the Cavaliers offered him a contract. Then, when he was 50, the New Jersey Nets did the same thing. That's how
Yeah, that's
in
insane.
shape Wilt kept himself. Maybe he lost a step when he entered his 40s, but he made up for it by somehow managing to increase his strength. This happened when he was working out with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the set of
I've
their
heard about
movie
that.
Conan the Destroyer.
That's
As on
insane.
set, Wilt increased his bench press to an absurd
500?
500 pounds. He managed to maintain this
Wow.
late into his life, as when he was 59, he was still able to bench press 465 pounds, which was incredible.
Oh my
But
gosh.
moving
Rest in
away
peace to
from
Wilt
his strength,
Chamberlain.
let's talk about Wilt's volleyball career. Yes, did you know that after the NBA, Wilt began a career as a volleyball player?
You probably did thrive when you're that tall, that long of arms, high vertical. It's probably deadly. Probably made people very frustrated.
After basketball, Wilt appeared in volleyball all-star games against some of the best competition in the world. And while his fundamentals were a little spotty, I mean, he did start playing
Yeah, he was just probably really raw, just a freak athlete.
Wilt was still able to use his overall athleticism to gain one of the deadliest spikes the sport had seen.
I bet.
And due to his playing ability,
His
as
strength,
well as his
too.
work trying to raise volleyball awareness across the United States, Wilt
Look
was
at that thing.
inducted into the
Come here.
Volleyball Hall of Fame. Was there anything on earth this guy could
Damn,
not
Will looks
do?
young
So
there.
there you have it, guys. 5 or about 20.
Well, that was a great video by Mike Korzemba. If you enjoyed this video, be free to give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Road to 200 subscribers. I'm grinding like crazy on this channel. I have so much passion for this channel. Like I said, if you want to help it out, click that subscribe button. Put that post notification bell on so you're alerted anytime I go live or upload a video. Most of the time, it's just a video. But I really can't wait to see where this channel is going to be going. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.